I'm with Helen Routledge of Totem Learning down here in Coventry, that hotbed of learning, simulation and gaming. So Helen, can you just tell us a little about Totem Learning, what you do and how you go about doing that?
Yeah, sure. Totem Learning is a serious games and simulation developer, primarily for the corporate sector,
Right.
but we also address education as well. We mainly focus on soft skills training and business education, and we bring that to the corporate sector and education.
Can you give us a couple of examples of some of the projects you've done?
Yep, absolutely. We do everything from diversity and inclusion to subcontract management, change leadership,
Okay.
internal marketing communications, anywhere where there's a real business need to drive a message out to a wide audience.
And should we just pick on one of those and tell us how and why it works?
Well, yeah, absolutely. If we think in terms of change leadership, for example, that's quite a tricky subject to address. There's a lot of soft skills involved, and also there's a lot of perhaps internal political issues that are around change and influencing people, which is often quite difficult to do in real life. So what we do is create a scenario where people can go into a virtual situation, set up different characters with different personalities. We created a matrix of, there was about 18 characters who had lots of interrelationship issues, and it was your task as a learner to try and influence all of these characters to achieve a specific business goal. And of course you have to use different strategies about how to influence people in different ways.
That's very powerful. And what sort of results did you get from that?
Brilliant results. Well, that went out to a target audience of 60,000 plus.
60,000?
Yeah, absolutely. So really it was just raising a very wide awareness of some of the strategies that can be put in place. And yeah, we just got fabulous feedback from our users. They wanted to play it several times and explore all the different strategies that were in the game.
That's really interesting. And what sort of exciting projects are you up to now?
Well, at the moment we're working on a really exciting project around chemistry education.
Okay.
So again, it's a very difficult subject to teach because chemistry is a very expensive subject to teach because you've got the cost of the chemicals, but you've also got lots of health and safety issues. So you need a lot of training before you actually do experiments. So we're working with a university to create a very, very kind of experiential system using haptics and also virtual reality, so the Oculus Rift.
Wow. I saw that at the stand that your sister company Learning Studios had at Learning Technologies. I think you're one of the few companies that are doing that in the UK at this moment in time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's only available as a development kit at the moment. It's not commercially, publicly available.
Okay.
And so we're just playing around with the technology, seeing what we can do with it and seeing where it can take us.
Yeah, great. And can you give us an idea in 5 years' time where you see that and how that would apply to learning?
Yeah, I think it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge for the entertainment space as well as for our space as well. I know that there's a certain car manufacturer who are using it to design their dashboards. So they themselves, or the engineers, can experience what it's going to be like to sit in the car, because they can model the car dashboard in virtual reality and they can look around the environment, look around the cabin and really kind of reach out and see how they use the cabin. So from an experience point of view, it's incredibly powerful at immersing people in an environment or in an experience. I think it's going to be huge in health and safety.
Yes.
Where you actually need to be somewhere, you need to have that spatial awareness. You need to examine objects and just really feel like you're there.
That whole immersive learning.
Yeah.
So those dull page turners are going to be a thing of the past soon.
Absolutely. And one thing the Oculus Rift is great at, or that kind of technology, is creating an emotional connection. It's the most emotionally connected experience I've had so far in a game.
Okay.
And considering it's at the very early stages of development, drawing a parallel here, but there was a very simple horror game developed as a demo for the Oculus Rift, and you're just walking around a wood and something happens and things appear in front of you. But when you have the headset on, the headphones on, you're there. You really feel like you're in a wood, in the dark, and there's a little girl who's stalking you in, you know, typical horror situation. And yeah, it does achieve its goal of scaring the user. And if you take out the horror element of it and take that into a situation where you really need to be feeling either that you're in danger because you're in a health and safety scenario and you're practicing emergency response, then to create that emotional need or that emotional desire or that real feeling is incredibly important. And we don't have many things that can achieve that at the moment.
No, not in that immersive, putting you as part of it. You can watch and you can observe, but being actual part of that, that's very, very different and very, very powerful indeed.
Absolutely.
That's great. Thank you very much indeed.